Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack, this is Jthbooks, and it's time to talk about what I'm going to be reading in the month of February, the month of love, Valentine's Day. I actually didn't take that into consideration. Oh, it doesn't matter. I won't be out Valentine's Day, will I? I'll just be in bed reading. So here we are. We're ready to talk about the month of February's reading. I feel like January's reading's gone okay. I found some books that I really loved. I feel like I'm going to try and edge up. So, well, now, of course, with the new way of, what's it called? The vlogging, the reading the books you put in the jar. I have to read 2 of them a month now. But I'm going to keep it as 5 books I choose and then the 2 books you choose. And, so that'd be 7, wouldn't it? Yeah, well done. Well done. That was good maths, Jack. Yeah, that'd be 7. And I feel like that's about average for me. Sometimes it's 10 or 11. Sometimes it's 5 or 6. So we'll stick with 7, and any bonus ones, it's just a bonus. It's a bookie bonus. So shall we just talk about the books? Do you just want to talk about the books? I have no life updates for you or anything, so we might as well just discuss the books, which is what you're here for. You don't want to hear me ramble on, do you? Well, maybe. No, you don't. I try to convince myself. Do you like my jumper, actually? It says I closed my book to be here. My sister got it from me, so I did have something to say. Talking about clothes, not books, clothes. It's a bit of a weird, not a weird section, but it's a bit of just for many different reasons. I've got one on here that comes out next month, in March, so I'd like to read that. I have one that a lot of people have recommended to me, and I think it could be a favourite of mine, so I want to read that. I have one that is actually a proof copy, an ARC, and it says on it July 2021, which is outrageous, so I want to read that. I was sort of looking through the backlist and being like, what do I want? I want to sort of get rid of some of the backlist of my books because I can feel an unhaul coming on. I can feel it. It's a bit cluttered in here. So, I can feel one coming on. So let's, read some of them so I don't just get rid of them. I think that's a good idea. But let's talk about the first book. So first up, we have Sleeping Children by Anthony Passeron, translated by Frank Wynne. I know that's true. It was true. Well done to my memory. This comes out on the 6th of March. This was kindly sent to me by Picador Books. And, yeah, just something I'm really excited for. It is the acclaimed French debut, now translated into 16 languages. I can only read one of them, and that's English. So let's find out what it's about, because I think it's going to be great. It is 1981. A wave of puzzling medical cases sweeps across the US. A Parisian doctor is presented with a rare case of a disease long thought to be eradicated. It marks the beginning of a race to make sense of a deadly virus that will define a generation. Miles away in rural France, Anthony Passeron's family are dealing with the crisis of their own. Their small village is gripped by another epidemic, heroin addiction. Anthony's uncle Desiree, once the pride of the family, has become one of its many sleeping children, often found unconscious on street corners. As his life descends into chaos, the thunder of AIDS crisis grows closer. The 2 stories, one intimate, one global, are about to collide. I think it sounds brilliant. I just think it sounds like a book I'm going to love. I was going to give it a 5-star prediction, but I'm trying not to do that. But it could be. Don't tell anyone I said it. Don't tell anyone. And then for the book that I think could be a favourite, and people have recommended to me, people say it's good, we have Guapa by Salim Haddad. I actually remember buying this, and somebody was like, "Oh, that's really good." Who I was with, not just a random person, I was with the person. And it was the winner of the first Polari Prize. So, winner of the Polari First Book Prize. It could have been the inaugural one, but I don't know. Inaugural one. Can you use that word for that, or is that just for ships? I don't know. I've lost the plot. Right, let's find out what it's about. I bought this in foils, if you'd like to know. Let's find out. Set over the course of 24 hours, Guapa follows Raza, a gay man living amid the political and social upheaval of an unnamed Arab country. Raza spends his days translating for Western journalists and pining for the nights when he can sneak his lover, Taimur, into his room. One night, Raza's grandmother, the woman who raised him, catches them in bed together. The following day, Raza is consumed by the search for his best friend, Marge, a fiery activist and drag queen star of the underground bar Guapa, who has been arrested by the police. Ashamed to go home and face his grandmother, and reeling from the potential loss of the 3 most important people in his life, Raza roams the city in an attempt to discover the roots of his alienation in a society that he fears may never accept him. Oh yeah, well, I'm just 5-star prediction. Sorry, I know I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. 5-star prediction. Oh, I can't wait to read this. Oh, I can't wait. And then we'll go for the book that has on it July 2021. I'm literally looking right at it. And that is The Sweetness of Water by Nathan Harris. Now, I do believe this was longlisted for the Booker Prize a while ago. I won't say on this because I got this before it was longlisted, so I'll actually never know. Maybe it was 2022 then, or 2021 actually. Would have been that year. 2021 probably. How exciting. But yeah, obviously I kept this because I wanted to read it and I heard good things about it, but we'll see, because I did look at it and think you could go on the unhold pile, but I want to give it a go. There's a bitter edge to freedom. Parentis and Laundry. There's a bitter edge to freedom. Parentis and Landry, two brothers newly freed by the Emancipation Proclamation, cast into the world without a penny to their names. George Walker, a man who was taken to wandering the woodland near his home, reeling from the loss of his only son in the dying days of the Civil War. When the three men meet and the brothers begin to live and work on George's farm, the tentative bonds of trust and union begin to blossom between the strangers. But this sanctuary survives on a knife's edge, and it isn't long before the inhibitions of nearby Old Ox react with fury at the alliances being formed only a few miles away. I didn't know it was about that, actually. I didn't know it was about that. But, it's got very small writing. But yeah, like I said, I've held on to this one because I think it could be good. I think it could be something I really enjoy. So I'm finally going to read it this month. And if I don't like it, it can go on the unhold pile. Now we'll talk about my non-fiction for the month, because I'm carrying that on, as you know. And we are going to be reading Guest Privileges, Queer Lives and Finding Home in the Middle East by Gar Adams. I do believe this has been on a TBR before, and it got bumped off. It did get bumped off. I do remember that. I'm excited to read this. I won this in a prize, which I never win, so I was very happy about that. But yeah, another one I'm really, really excited for. I should have read it already, because it's something I find incredibly important for me as a white cis gay man to read. So yeah, let's have a look. Upon moving to the Gulf states, where penalties for queer acts includes deportation, imprisonment, torture and death, Gar Adam wants to understand why LGBTQ+ migrants might choose to live amid such peril. From UA to Bahrain. Upon moving to the Gulf states, where penalties for queer acts includes deportation, imprisonment, torture and death, Gar Adams wants to understand why LGBTQ+ migrants might choose to live amid such peril. From UAE to Bahrain to Oman to Saudi Arabia, a region where 4 out of 5 residents are non-citizens, he begins riskily gathering interviews outside the tightly controlled state media, leading with what he thinks is a simple question. Isn't it harder for you to make a life here? But as an unforgettable residents share a kaleidoscope of stories, from uproarious Filipino salon workers throwing secret drag parties to a courageous Pakistani farmhand helping his compatriots smuggle themselves across the border, cracks emerge in the framing of his inquiry, revealing disquieting assumptions about motivations, places and identities of others. As Gar begins his own clandestine queer relationship, fault lines and deeper questions begin to emerge about what we perpetrate and refuse to examine, and how we balance opportunity, risk, subversion and assimilation. Yeah, I think it sounds so good and so important, and very ready for this one. And then lastly, the last book I'm choosing could be a bit of a mistake, could be a fool for starting it, but I own so many of them that I either need to get started to get rid of them. You will find out in a second what I'm talking about. I know it's a series. I know, yeah, you heard that right. It's a series people really, really love, and when I've seen them sort of read the whole thing, they're quite moved towards the end. But that is like 15 books down the line, and I don't know if I got that in me. I don't know if I got it in me. I don't know if I'm that kind of boy. I actually own 8 of them already, and I haven't read a single one, which is ridiculous. I know, I can hear you saying it. But we do have The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. If you know, you know. It's sort of a booktube classic, isn't it, this series? I don't really know what it's about. I know it sold like 3, yeah, that would be 15, wouldn't it? Let's find out what it's about. I'm nervous. The kingdom of the 6 duchies is on the brink of civil war when news breaks that the crown prince has fathered a bastard son and is shamed into abdication. The child's name is Fitz, and he is despised. Raised in the castle stables, only the company of the king's fool, the ragged children of the lower city, and his unusual affinity with animals provide Fitz with any comfort. To be useful to the crown, Fritz is trained as an assassin, and to use the traditional magic of the Farseer family. But his tutor, allied to another political faction, is determined to discredit, even kill him. Fitz must survive, for he may be destined to save the kingdom. I mean, that does sound good, I'm not going to lie, but is it? I feel like I probably brought these a long time ago, and am I still that kind of boy? I don't know, but I have to give them a go. I have to give it a go before I get rid of them. I'm excited for that unhaul because I can feel it. It's coming. It is absolutely coming. And now, we're here. We're arrived. We're at the destination. The lid is not on. Where's the lid? I have no idea where the lid is, but we have it. We have the Jthbooks TBR jar, where I will be reading both of what comes out of here. It's so strange to say that now, but it's quite exciting, isn't it? So yeah, that's the new formula. We'll compare them. I'll read them in a week. We compare them. You vote. You still vote, friends. You're going to vote for which one you think I will like more. Oh, if you can hear that, that needs to be quiet, doesn't it? I'm going to have to wait a second. Right, the noise seems to have stopped now. At least they're just hammering, and hopefully that's not loud. Right. As you say, new formula. As I said, you vote for the one you think I will like the best. If we get on, if you get the right, we can be friends. If not, I'm sorry, you've got to go. No, I'm joking. Please don't go. Please don't leave me. Right, let's pick one. I'm taking too long. Right, I've got one. What do we have? Is that the right way up? I can't quite see. Oh. We have The Secret Lives of Church Ladies by someone who I didn't write the name. But Gillian put that in there. That's been up for the vote before, and you all didn't vote for it. So it's got to be read now. You've got no choice. Right. I know where that is. That's just above my head as well. That's handy because, as you know, sometimes I can't always find these books. And here comes the next one. What is it? We have The Vanishing Half, put in there by Sasha Moons. That too is just above my head. This is perfect. I'm not going to have to move. I'll be back with them in a second. Well, if the angles changed, like I said, I didn't have to move, but it didn't mean my phone was going to fall onto the floor, did it? You know, that still happened. Right. So, first up, we had The Secret Lives of Church Ladies, put in there by Gillian, by Disha Filia. I'm excited to read this. I'm excited, actually. I know it's a collection of short stories. Let's find out what it's about. The Secret Lives of Church Ladies explores the raw and tender places where black women and girls dare to follow their desires and pursue a momentary reprieve from being good. There is a 14-year-old Jael who nurses a crush on the preacher's wife, the mother who bakes a sublime peach cobbler every Monday for her date with the married pastor, and Eula and Coraletta, single childhood friends who seek solace in each other's arms every New Year's Eve. It makes me want to cry. With their secret longings, new love, and forbidden affairs, these church ladies are as seductive as they want to be, as vulnerable as they need to be, as unfaithful and unrepentant as they care to be, and free as they deserve to be. I think it could. It's got 5-star potential. Sorry, it has. I'm very, very, very excited to read this. And then we have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, which is actually perfect. Put in here by Sasha Moons, which is actually perfect because it's another one I've had for a long time and could have potentially been on the unhaul. And it was sent to me. 2020 this came out. It means it was sent to me in 2020. Perfect. It's come out. I'm shocked. But yeah, say 5 years nearly. 5 years, and I haven't read it. I didn't know this was sent to me. I assumed I brought it. Okay, let's find out what it's about. Twins, inseparable as children, ultimately chosen to live Twins, inseparable as children, ultimately choose to live in two very different worlds. One black, one white. The sisters will always be identical, but after growing up together in a small southern black community and running away at the age of 16, it's not just the shape of their daily lives that is different as adults. It's everything, including their racial identities. Many years later, one sister lives with a black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. Across the country, the other secretly passes for white, and her white husband knows nothing of her past. Still, although separated by so many miles and just as many lies, the fates of the twins remain intertwined. What will happen when their own daughters' storylines intersect? Sounds brilliant. I think we've got brilliant books for this week's episode. This month's vlog. What am I, a TV star? I'm joking. I know I'm not. Which one do you think I'm going to love more? I think that's a hard vote. I think you might know, though. Yeah, can't wait to see what you vote for. Can't wait to read these. I'm very, very excited about this. So, there we have it. February's reading. Like I said, vote in the comments. Have a chat to me in the comments. Let me know if you've read any of these and you think I'm going to love them. Let me know if you didn't like them. We can always have that chat. Just chat to me in the comments. It's my favourite thing. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. And I'm going to speak to you all really, really soon.